Hello everybody, my name is Benji, and welcome back to Satisfactory Stream Recaps. This week we played for just only 4 hours, but in that time we got a lot more done than I was expecting, and I've done a little bit of stuff off camera in between, just kind of taking care of some maintenance things, some random MAM things, gathering resources for, you know, the hub tiers and all the stuff, but I haven't unlocked anything as of yet in terms of content-related material. And I want to start off today in the recap by showing off the coal power plant that we made last time. So in the stream, also, we'll get to that in a minute, but in the stream, we made this wonderful 1800 megawatt power plant, which is 3 systems of 8 coal generators, each of which requires 2 pipes of 180 water per minute, because one pipe only can do 300 water per minute. So, you know, can't do 360 in all of this. And then each system also has an entire 120 belt of coal coming in from these 3 Mark 1 miners of pure coal nodes. Now, because of the fact that we have unlocked the Mark 2 nodes, the Mark 2 miners, we can, in fact, go through the entirety of this system and upgrade it twofold, so we can have 3,600 megawatts worth of power instead of 1,800 megawatts worth of power, although I think it looks quite nice in and of itself right now. We have perfect splitting ratios for everything except for the water, which is a water overflow, but that's not a big deal because it's just water. And every now and then we needed an extra pump just to make sure that all of that still works. Additionally, we did a whole bunch of stuff with basic steel. So it's very nice to have these big steel things. I find them quite fun overall. And we have a use for the zipline, which we were talking in stream about, and I was like going through these power nodes, and they don't really work well. Well, that's because I missed the ladder. That's because that is not their use case. Their use case is much, much better suited for these large power towers. So on the way down, we can talk about some of the other things. Each of these power towers is actually rather cheap and can extend for a very long time. I have not yet hit the maximum extension yet, so that is pretty neat overall, in my opinion. And you go pretty quick down. You don't go as fast up, but it is still automatic transportation, so I will take it. It's automatic and free transportation, I should say. So that is pretty nice overall. But additionally, last time, we not only finished the coal generators that are up in that little crater, but we also went through the entire process of doing Caterium. You can kind of see off in the distance there. And then some basic and advanced steel production, which I'm super duper excited to talk about. But first, actually, we do need to make a pit stop here, because we unlocked the Dimensional Depot. And it's kind of underwhelming at first, but here it is. The Dimensional Depot requires 10 SAM fluctuators and 1 Mercer sphere each. I have them connected here to the cable and the reinforced iron plate. There's another one over there. And they have an upload rate of 15 per minute as a baseline, and a stack size of only 1 stack. So I can have 1 stack of every single item in here, but that's not that much with an upload rate of 15 per minute. I need more than that, personally. And what's worse is I can't even upload from the inventory without computers. So part of the, next stream is going to be going through and trying to find some crash sites that have computers at them, and possibly harvesting those computers in order to have the depot uploader. And then I'm currently working on getting the depot expansion to 2 stacks with the revitalized SAM there. And then, of course, also we want to get the upload rate, up to a higher great, because that's not very fast. 15 per minute is not fast in the slightest, so quite disappointed with how that turns out as a baseline. I really think that you should be able to upload prior to computers. I think that's a little far down the tech tree for inventory uploading. I wasn't expecting to have it as soon as I unlocked the depot, but like also I was expecting to have it sooner than computers, if that makes sense overall, which I think it does. I think that makes sense. It would make sense if it were like motors or something, or even like AI limiters or something, but not. Speaking of, we have AI limiters here, and Quickwire, and Caterium, because there's a pure Caterium node right there, which is very nice. I just don't think that it makes sense to have it locked all the way behind computers. It should definitely be a little sooner than that, in my opinion. But then also, we came over here, and we're doing some steel things. I can't wait to show you the steel. There is, I tried to ping, but I can't let go of the left mouse. There is a pure limestone node over there that we are harvesting for the steel. And if you played in early access, but not yet in 1.0, you might be thinking to yourself, oh, you know, that makes sense. Encased industrial beams are pretty expensive on the concrete side, but a pure node, when there's a normal node over in this region already, you can see it way off in the, sorry, no, that's the copper. But it's way off in the distance over there. You could definitely see it. Isn't that a little overkill just for that overall? And the answer is yes. This is not for the encased industrial beams on their own. We have a pure iron node and 4 normal copper node, or coal nodes, sorry, with Mark 1 miners, and that's a Mark 2 miner, getting us 240 iron and coal, which gets us 240 steel. And then we have a shit ton of limestone going into constructors here to make us 120 concrete per minute. And then we have our first verticality, which I think is pretty cool. Don't fall off. But no, you'll see here we have steel ingots and concrete going together into a foundry making steel beams? What is this? So this is a new alternate recipe in 1.0. It's called the alternate molded beam. It is 120 steel ingot per minute and 80 concrete per minute to make 45 steel beams per minute. Now, I will go on ahead and pull this up for you for the comparison. But if we look here, this is a 4-to-1. And this is actually a 24-to-9, so 4-to-1 is just 4. 24-to-9 is 2.6, so 2 2/3, which is substantially cheaper than 4. I think it's a third cheaper, in fact, than 4. So that is an absolutely insane steel beam recipe. Combine this with solid steel ingots to get more iron, more steel per iron and coal, and you just have steel beam for days. That makes the steel screws way easier, it makes steel beams way easier, and it makes encased industrial beams way easier as well. Because before, this used to be way expensive. Combine this with the encased industrial pipe alternate recipe, you're going to be swimming in encased industrial beams. It is crazy. So yeah, the steel beams go through into here, the steel ingots go in to make steel beams. The steel beams go in to make encased industrial beams, and those two are on the bottom here. And then we have ourselves the rest of the steel going into the pipes, and then the pipes combined with some wire from a copper node right there to make stators. And then the stators just kind of come with me for now, just because there's not enough iron around here for me to make rotors on site and make motors out of this. And this is all just temporary stuff, but it's the first vertical base. This is all just temporary stuff until the main base. And then the main base, we will actually end up having motors, which will be nice and fun and great and good. So that's all we went through on stream. We went through a bunch of stuff in the MAM, which is why I have so many hand slots now. I can even pull up the MAM real quick and just show off everything. I have a couple of hard drives. We're going to go over those next stream. We went over this one. The steel rotor is very nice, and actually would solve my current issue with automating motors. 10 steel and 30 wire per minute to make 5 rotors is easily doable with what we've got. So we're actually going to do that. And to automate motors, which is crazy. It's not what I was expecting to do today. But then we also got this one, which is the steel cast plate, iron and steel to make more plates. So instead of a 3-to-2 ratio, it's now a 1-to-3, which is insanity. Absolute insanity. For the same amount of ingots, you get... let me do some quick math here. You get 2 for every 3, but here you get 6 for... Or, sorry, you get 3 for every 2. Here you get 6 for every 2. So it's literally doubled. But you also need steel. So really, it's still a 2 for 3. Actually, no, shit, no, that is stupid. It's still a 2... Or no, it's still better, because, a 3 for 2, sorry, you would get 9. I'm getting all my stuff messed up. Give me a second here. Iron plate. Iron plate. It is a 2 for 3, and this is a 3 for 1 in this hard drive here. A 3 for technically 2. So you're just flip-flopping it. So if you would get 2 for 3, you would really get 4.5 for 3 instead. So it's 150% better. But if we were to have the solid steel ingot, it would be even better than this. So this is already good, but with the solid steel, this would be way better. The iron alloy ingots, I've never been a fan of the alloys. It's literally just some iron and some copper make even more iron than you would have. That's nice and all, but the pure ingots are way better down the line once we get refineries and stuff. So we're hanging on to this for a minute and just chilling. The megafauna, we researched this node to give me an extra hand slot. Have not researched anything new here. Went down the Caterium tree and got the power switch and the smart splitter, and then of course you saw the AI limiter, the power pole Mark II, etc. Went down the mycelia tree a little bit to get fabric, the parachute, an extra hand equipment slot, and the gas mask. And then have not gone through anything else except for a little bit on the sulfur. We did the black powder, and I think that is actually it that we did in here. So now it is time to talk about the main base. So I'm going to get back to the location that we're going to be making the main base. And I'm kind of going to break things down for you and lay out my plan for the rest of this season of Satisfactory, the way that we are going to end up beating the video game. So give me just one moment, and I'll be back with you. So we're now at the site of what will soon be the main base. And you'll notice it is very barren, very flat, very devoid of all life. So we're going to start at pretty much the elevation I'm standing at, maybe a touch lower, just so that we have some ground clearance and can make it look nice and pretty in the future with some supports and some good walls and all of the fun stuff that comes, you know, with the foundation packs and the wall packs and stuff that I don't have at the moment, but stuff that will come in handy in the future and will be cheap and affordable in the future, and currently is actually extremely expensive. Is that a purple slug up there? That is a purple slug up there. Oh gosh, I lost it. There it is. Purple slug. Cool. So that's probably the first purple slug that we're ever gonna get. And we're literally just gonna have like probably a 40 or 50 long foundation here, footprint wise, and then about 100 that way. We're gonna be a giant rectangle that will be made into something that looks nicer later on. But the point of having a main base at the mid-game, which we are currently at the mid-game, basically done with Tier 2, or Space Elevator Phase 2, Tiers 3 and 4 in the hub, etc., prior to oil. The entire point of right now is having a base that functions and makes the parts that we require. It doesn't have to make anything in mass, it doesn't have to worry about anything in large amounts. We literally just have to worry about making parts and having a place for them. And because of the fact that we now have Tier 2 miners, that is going to be the best miner that we're going to have for a while. I don't remember where Tier 3 miners are, but I remember them having something to do with aluminum and turbo motors, so we're a long way off. We have the pinnacle of technology for now. We have conveyor belt Mark IIIs. We have extractors Mark III, or Mark IIs, minor Mark IIs. We've got basic steel, so smelters, foundries, constructors, assemblers, water extractors. We've got a couple of good alternate recipes under our boot, and I'm really hoping that we'll be able to find some more drop pods in our exploration while we go find computers next time for the Dimensional Depot uploading. That way we can have ourselves some really good steel recipes. Get that steel cast ingot steel, whatever the heck it's called, solid steel ingot. There we go. I literally said it 5 minutes ago. The solid steel ingot, so that we can have our really efficient steel, really efficient iron, and really efficient copper. Now, the reason why I chose this location is twofold. Number one, there are a bunch of iron nodes. You can literally see them right there. They're going to ping here. There go the iron nodes. There's a shit ton there. There's the ones that we're using that are pure over there. And then there are even more off in the distance that way, and a couple more off in the distance that way. So we have a lot of iron pretty central to us. These will make do for a long time, and then of course we'll be able to belt those over no problem. But then belting those two groups over there might be a little bit of a tall ask. Probably not, because they're close enough. It's inconvenient to use trucks. We don't have trains yet, so we'll probably still use it there. There is a shit ton of limestone close to this area. There's, of course, that node right there, and another one over there. And then we have the one that we have tapped already. There's another one way off in the distance over there. And then there's a couple more over there as well. So that will all just join on a big old bus coming this way. And then, of course, there is copper as well. There's a couple of normal copper nodes. I believe they're normal nodes anyway. Right here. Yeah, so normal, normal, normal. Our one pure node. And then I don't know where that last copper pinged. I guess that last copper pinging was my claimed node. But there are a couple of more that are like over here and over here that we will be gathering as well. And then the limestone that I'm mentioning are here. The only thing that kind of sucks is the coal, which is why steel is going to be a bit of a problem. There are some coal nodes way up here, and you know what, I'll actually go on ahead and scan for coal. It's probably going to pop up closer in the red forest, although that is very dangerous, so we're not going to go there. Hey, look, a little infinity. Getting distracted. Yeah, see, there's some coal, there's some coal up here, but these are all, like, impure. And then I guess it says temp because I haven't actually gone into that area yet. But then, of course, there's the 4 normal ones over here. Those will probably end up being trucked in or something, or tractored in. Oh, something along those lines. Just route them through this area. And then the Caterium is pretty close. You can't quite see it because there's a big old thing in the way, but like there's the miner literally right there. You can just barely see it. So that's also not too far from us. And that pretty much covers all of the resources that we need for the early game. It's these 5. Quartz is not all that lucky in terms of location nearby. But we'll go on ahead and scan for it. There's a cave over here that has some in it, but I don't know how to get into the cave. There's some down here through a big old tunnel, but yeah, there's the cave ones. But we're not going to worry about that at the moment. Yeah, there's the ones. And then it's probably not going to ping anymore. And then sulfur. There's not a ton of sulfur nearby, but we don't need a ton of sulfur nearby at the moment. I think the closest are probably actually going to be over here. And there's one right there. Guarantee you that that one's going to be the first to ping. There it is. Yep. And it's only a normal node. It's not that great. And then this one's way down here. I think that might actually even be the green fields. I'm not going to lie to you. And then there's that one. And then finally, in terms of SAM, SAM is just nowhere. We have the SAM node right here, but that's impure. There's like a SAM node up here somewhere. I have no idea what purity it is. There it is. Impure. And then there's apparently... Whoa. There's a normal one way down the Gold Coast. And there's a normal one up there. Oh, it's in the cave. That one's in the cave, too. So we're not going to worry about any of that, but we're not going to need to worry about any of that just yet. That's just going to be just fine. We'll have, like, the outpost up there that we can have temporary stuff for, because we don't need that until late game, I'm pretty sure. So the main things that we're going to be doing in terms of main base activities, we're going to be doing a main bus type of base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a bus of various parts and ingots and stuff of that nature. Like we'll have some iron ingots on the bus, probably going to end up having like 6 or 8 or more, more than likely factors of 2 kind of stuff for iron ingots. And then similar for copper ingots, and then steel ingots as well, which is basically going to be coal and iron. And then we're going to pull things off as required in order to make all of the lovely parts, like iron plates, iron rods, reinforced iron plates that require a bit of both, cable, wire, concrete, of course, is probably just going to be its own thing. There's no need for raw limestone in really a whole bunch of... That's more than I remember, and apparently it's produced in a recipe. That's... We're gonna find out what that's all about. Screws, and then, you know, we're gonna have the rotors and copper sheets and modular frames, and then smart plating. And I'm actually gonna be belting all of the space elevator parts into the space elevator, which will be nice and neat and cool. It's going to be nice. We'll be able to see the numbers up here in the top right ticking up over time, which is going to be really, really cool to see and to have. And then when it comes to other reasons why I'm picking this location, there's a big empty space here for rails, and a big empty space here for more rails, and then a big way up into here for more rails, and a way through here for more rails, and there's a tunnel here for more rails. So this is just a really good central location that lends itself nicely to train stations and train junctions. But I have rambled on for long enough, so that is going to be it for today. That pretty much caps everything, recaps everything that we went through on stream. Of course, the video for the stream is always going to be up and existing. And this is going to be the last time we see this landscape as pristine as it is, so enjoy soaking it up while it lasts. But thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. But without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidania, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. This video is in the bag. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, y'all.